A very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News. I'm Florin Rajendran. Let's start off with a look at the headlines. Further investigations underway into the shooting in Grand Pass. Conflict between nurses and midwives at the Ragama Teaching Hospital. Bus fares will not be increased. A statement from the National Transport Commission. India breaks into the commercial space launch market with the launch of 5 satellites from 4 countries. Costa Rica and Netherlands through to the quarterfinals of the 2014 FIFA World Cup. And in those stories in detail, Colombo Crimes Division and the Grand Pass Police have launched a joint investigation into the shooting incident reported last night from Andrews Watta in Grand Pass, where 2 persons were killed and 2 others were left critically injured. According to the police, information has come to light that the victims in the incident were drug dealers. The police added that the suspects who carried out the shooting have fled the area in a 3-wheeler subsequent to having abandoned the motorbike at the crime scene. Crime scene investigators found 18 bullet casings at the scene. The shootout had reportedly taken place while area residents had been decorating the area ahead of a religious event. The victims were identified as 28 and 26-year-olds, while the injured persons are currently receiving in-house treatment at the accident ward at the Colombo National Hospital. Meanwhile, post-mortem examinations and the magisterial inquiry will be carried out today on the bodies of the deceased, which are currently lying at the hospital's mortuary. A group of minor staff and family health workers attached to the Ragama Teaching Hospital have assaulted several nursing staff and damaged equipment at Ward 17 in the hospital.
The matron of Ward 17 at the hospital stated that she, along with the rest of the nursing staff, had evacuated the ward following the destruction carried out by the group. Meanwhile, the president of the Government Midwifery Service Association, Devika Korituaku, alleges that a member of the minor staff who had been supplying food to a group of midwives who were forcibly held inside the hospital's labour room. The director of the Ragama Teaching Hospital, Dr. U.M.M. Samarnayaka, says that several midwives are being forcibly held by the hospital's nursing staff inside the labour room unit. He pointed out that the involvement of minor staff in the long-standing conflict between nurses and midwives has caused a serious situation in the hospital.
And in headline-making news, the National Transport Commission notes that bus fares will not be revised this time around. The chairman of the NTC, Renuka Dushyanta Pereira, says that there is no need for a bus fare revision. He added that a ministerial subcommittee appointed to prepare a national policy on bus fares is currently studying the matter.
12 parameters have been put in place with regard to the bus fares revision, and when these 12 parameters are met, steps will be taken to revise bus fares. We have examined the parameters this year, and what is evident to us is that there hasn't been substantial change to warrant an increase in bus fares. Thereby, the commuters need to not worry about a fare hike. The minister has appointed a subcommittee to prepare a national policy on bus fares. The expert committee is currently studying this matter, and following their study, we will inform and discuss with the bus companies any changes that are to be made to these parameters.
17 persons have been injured in an accident that occurred at around 6:15 a.m. in Pambala, Halawatha. The accident occurred after a private bus plying from Colombo to Jaffna collided with a container that was travelling towards Colombo from Chilaw. The container had also collided with a van that was parked in close proximity. 16 passengers on the bus sustained minor injuries. The driver of the container, who was in a critical condition, has been admitted to the Chilaw hospital. Our correspondent stated that vehicular traffic on the Colombo-Chilaw main road was hampered over an hour owing to the incident. A lecturer of the Bingire Science Faculty suffered injuries after she met with an accident that occurred at around 8 a.m. in the Hanghamunua area along the Kurunagala-Variapula road. Our correspondent in the area stated that a car and bus had collided. The lecturer has been admitted to the Kurunagala hospital. A wild elephant that fell into an unguarded agrarian well in Upadesagama, Thantirimale was brought onto dry land last night. The wild elephant had fallen into the unguarded agrarian well in a field near the reservoir in Upadesagama, Thantirimale. Every resident had informed the Thantirimale Reserve Office of the Wildlife Department of this incident. Although wildlife officers arrived there last morning and used a backhoe to dig around the well and rescue the elephant, their efforts proved futile until last night. Our reporter says that the animal was finally brought onto dry land at about 9 o'clock last night. The elephant was then chased into the Thantirimale jungle. 2 vehicles have been damaged in a fire that erupted in a garage in the Pinnaduwa area in Galle. The fire was doused this morning. The police stated that the fire had broken out when the owner was in the garage. Vehicles and other items were damaged in the fire. The police also stated that an electricity leakage had been the cause of the fire. The Bar Association of Sri Lanka has taken steps to provide legal aid for parties who were aggrieved by the recent unrest in Alutgama and Beruwala. BASL Secretary Attorney at Law Ajit Patirana says the Bar Association will support and provide legal aid to individuals who are seeking legal redress but do not have the strength to pursue this avenue. He added that a group of lawyers, including himself, have visited the area yesterday and had met and held discussions with aggrieved persons.
We visited Alutgama and Darga town and examined the homes and shops that were set on fire. We also met with persons who were disabled and have been aggrieved by this incident. We also visited the monk who was done an injustice through this incident. We held discussions with the aggrieved parties, and at that point the President of the Bar Association determined that the Bar Association is prepared to intervene in this matter and provide assistance. I wish to note that the Bar Association is prepared to represent aggrieved persons who are seeking legal redress but do not have the strength to pursue the legal option.
A power disruption hampered the functions of the Mathura head office last night. Delays in the disruption and exchange of post were reported as a result of the power supply disruption. Newsfirst cameras captured the manner in which post office staff worked by candlelight. And that's the wrap of the lunchtime news for the day. It was an absolute pleasure having you with us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Florin Rajendran. Have a pleasant day ahead.